Now, the draft order we know, Timmy, is set. So looking at how the top 10 shakes up, let's do some over-unders. Point guards. We know now, because of the way the NBA is, this would have been a ludicrous question 20 years ago. Today, it's a totally valid question. 4 and a hook. That's the over-under for point guards going in the top 10, not first round, top 10. Is it that important to have a floor general now in this game that we think 5 of the first 10 will be PGs?
I don't think so. I actually think Dennis Smith Jr. may be right on the cusp there. And he may be, this is crazy, I think, the most talented of them all.
But Fultz, Ball,
Fox are locks.
No doubt.
You got the foreign guy there. He's going to be a lottery pick, but he's not going to be a top 10 pick. I think there's other valuable assets here that you're looking at. A guy like Malik Monk. I think his value is sky high because he can knock it down. Dennis Smith Jr., we may 4 or 5 years from now go, man, I can't believe so many teams passed up on him because he's got so much Derrick Rose in him. He's explosive. He's able to get to the rim. He's able to take off.
Yeah.
It's up here with him. And a lot of teams don't trust, which Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be able to show up. And if you're taking a top 10 pick, you want someone that's an absolute slam dunk, home run. Dennis Smith Jr. has all the physical ability. I think it's up here. I'm going to go under.
Okay, this is an interesting conversation. You and I had it off camera yesterday, and you kind of opened up my eyes to something because I'm like, I love De'Aaron Fox in this draft, right? And you looked at me and go, Fultz is a scorer. Dennis Smith Jr. said is a scorer. And I'm like, well, I don't want a Derrick Rose first point guard. I want a passer first. And you're like, well, how many teams have won championships with pass first point guards? And your point's well taken. You kind of have to be a scoring guard these days in today's NBA. You got to be able to knock down shots. And you worry about certain guys not being able to do that.
Yeah, I think De'Aaron Fox has amazing ability. I think he has John Wall written all over.
That's who I see.
But John Wall took a long time. You remember when you first started covering John Wall?
Day one. Like he was going so fast, but it's like his body was out of control.
Right.
Like his head and he just couldn't slow it down a notch to make it effective.
So I think Fox has that same ability, but both those guys, Wall, when he came into the league, couldn't really shoot. Fox has got a long way to go as far as developing his offensive package. The only 2 guys that I would say from that list are surefire locks. I think Ball's going to be a lock, and I think Fultz is going to be a lock. As far as being guys that go average 18 to 20 points.
Is this a misnomer very quickly that Ball can't shoot the 3?
Ball's form makes me nervous because when you have a form that's unnatural or unlike what you see, what happens is when you start missing, you can't go back to, all right, let's check out the tape. Let's get your elbow in. Let's start doing your mechanics.
It's unorthodox.
Because his mechanics are so unorthodox that I don't know how you're going to make those adjustments. But this past year, he shot over 40% from 3. That's a really high